previously on A Love That Lingered. In the quiet shadows of the Caldwell garden, Grace stumbled into her first meeting with Arthur. Grief had driven them both from the noise of the manor, and in the darkness, they found an unexpected moment of connection. She offered him comfort. He accepted. And though they parted that night, neither knew the encounter had quietly altered the course of their lives. This is Episode 8, Letters Across the Miles. The midsummer sun cast a pale glow across the Everly estate, a stubborn brightness that spoke of the humidity of the coming day. Grace sat by her bedroom window, her fingers idly tracing the carved wooden frame, watching the road beyond the garden gate. She wasn't waiting for anything, not exactly. Though a small part of her hoped for the appearance of the post-rider. It had been a week since their family's meeting at the Caldwell Manor, and the memory of that night still lingered like the scent of the hyacinths that had perfumed the garden air. Arthur Caldwell's face, drawn, weary, and impossibly solemn for someone so young, would not leave her thoughts. She told herself it was the pity she'd felt for him, nothing more. When the sharp clop of hooves broke the morning stillness, Grace's heart quickened. Moments later, a footman knocked at her door, delivering a folded letter sealed with wax. She didn't need to see the crest to know who had sent it. Breaking the seal, her breath caught. "Miss Everly, I am not certain if it is proper to write so soon after our meeting, but I could not leave the moment unacknowledged. You were a stranger, yet you did not turn away from me. For that, I am grateful in ways I cannot fully express. If it is agreeable to you, I would like to write again. With sincerity, Arthur Caldwell." Grace read it twice, her cheeks warming. She folded the letter carefully, tucking it into the small wooden box, where she kept only her most precious things. She would reply. Of course she would. And so began the first of many letters that would soon become her favorite part of each week. The weeks passed in a quiet rhythm of ink and parchment. Arthur's handwriting was neat, deliberate, and the content of his letters shifted slowly from formal pleasantries to glimpses of his thoughts, his fondness for music, his frustrations with the burden of estate matters, his rare but treasured memories of his late father. Grace, in turn, told him of her sister's antics, of her love for the orchard in bloom, of the way she snuck away to read novels when she ought to have been practicing her embroidery. Her sisters, Martha and Sophia, noticed the change almost immediately. "Another letter?" Sophia teased one afternoon as Grace hurried back from the post, tucking an envelope behind her back. "It's from a friend," Grace insisted, though her smile betrayed her. "A friend who writes with such flourish and seals with wax?" Martha said, plucking the letter from her grasp and reading the outer script. "Arthur Caldwell. So this is the gentleman from the garden?" Grace snatched it back, cheeks flushed. "He is kind," she said, the word sharper than intended. Her sisters exchanged a knowing glance. At first, their teasing was lighthearted. They'd pass her the salt at dinner with a remark about writing-worthy flavors, or make exaggerated curtsies when she entered the room. But as the months wore on and the letters grew more frequent, their amusement gave way to a quieter sort of observation. One summer afternoon, Sophia found Grace sitting under the old oak tree, her head bent over a sheet of paper. "You've grown," Sophia said softly. Grace blinked up. "Grown? You speak differently now, like you've seen more of the world than just these gardens." It was true. Arthur's words had opened doors in her mind she hadn't known existed. He spoke of responsibility not as a distant duty, but as a constant, heavy companion. He wrote of music that could bring him to the brink of tears, and of walking alone through empty rooms that had once been filled with laughter. One evening, after reading his latest letter, Grace lingered by the window long after the candles burned low. In the space between their written words, something had begun to form, a thread of understanding, fragile but strong, and she knew, without meaning to, she had started to wait for his letters, not only with anticipation but with a quiet ache. Her fingers hesitated over the page that night before she wrote, "I believe the garden that evening will always remain in my memory. Not because it was a place of beauty, though it was, but because it was where I first realized how deeply grief can shape a person, and how it might also draw them closer to another." When she sent the letter, she wondered if she had said too much. 2 days later, the reply came. Arthur's letter was shorter than usual, his pen strokes darker, as though pressed with greater force. "Miss Everly, your words were more than I expected. I find myself reading them over, searching for meaning between each line. I do not wish to presume, but I must confess, our correspondence has become a light in my otherwise dim days." Grace pressed the letter to her chest, her heart a confused tangle of joy and fear. Down the hall, Sophia watched from the doorway, her expression unreadable. "You should be careful, Grace," she murmured. "Sometimes a light can lead you into the dark."